Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Josh.
I'm Kez
from Beyond the Feet, and today we're going to be comparing two neutral shoes, the Asics Nimbus 22
is Saucony Triumph 17.
So yeah, stay tuned, smash that like button, hit the subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's see who wins.
Who are both these shoes for? If you're looking for that neutral runner, so you've got quite a strong foot, not a whole lot of flexibility, both these will work great. If you're looking for something that builds up to a marathon, half marathon, 5Ks, somebody uses your daily trainer, do your long runs as well as your recovery runs in, both these will work a treat. One's a tad bit better than the other, but we'll get into that. A disclosure to get started with, neither Asics or Saucony are paying us or endorsing us to make this video. These are just our honest opinions on both these shoes, since it is a bit more favoured to one side.
Before we jump into the tech differences between both shoes, we're going to start with the overall fit and feel and just how both shoes stack up comfort wise to each other. Asics Nimbus 22. This shoe is a very soft, comfortable shoe on the upper. Has that monofilament upper. I'm pretty sure that's what they're calling it.
It's just a double layered mesh.
Like a jacquard mesh, just
nothing fancy.
Different name. Wraps around the foot quite nicely. It does have this kind of 3D overlay wrapping around the midfoot area. Really nice padded heel collar, as well as that nice snug heel counter. So the shoe does lock you in really well. It feels a little bit lighter overall, especially on the upper. Locks down the foot quite nicely. And
the overall fit and feel of the Saucony Triumph 17 upper, you have a bit more toe room in the Triumph 17 than you do in the Asics Nimbus 22. Very similar thoughts have gone into both these uppers, so you both have that 3D engineered print over the midfoot, so that locks down quite well over the life of the shoe and just doesn't stretch as much. Similar heel counters, probably a slightly bit more of a U-shaped on the Saucony Triumph 17 compared to the Asics, but this is still that bit more of a V-shaped. Very, very plush feel over the whole upper, quite a thick tongue, as well as a lot of padding around that heel. Yeah, very breathable mesh, quite simplistic and does the job. You do have a booty fit in the Triumph 17, so it is attached the whole way through that arch. You don't get that tongue slipping down to that one side.
Overall fit and feel of both shoes, both do hold the foot quite nicely. If you're after kind of that softer feel across the top of the foot, I lean you more towards the Saucony. If you want that streamlined fit, locking down the foot a little bit more, I'd lean you more towards that Asics Nimbus 22. Jump into the tech of both shoes, starting with the outer sole. If you look at them side by side, both have plenty of rubber underneath. Which one's better? So let's start with the Asics Nimbus 22. So this guy uses what they're calling an AHA.
It's carbon rubber.
Pretty much a carbon rubber running throughout the shoe. Covers all the way from the heel pretty much to the forefoot. With the new Asics, they have implemented a lot more flex screws running throughout that forefoot. Nice and deep. That does create that nice flexible shoe at the forefoot. It is very rigid around the heel though. With the AHA rubber, we're probably looking to get about 800 to 1000 Ks, maybe just over that depending on who you are. If the shoe's actually designed for you, you will come close to the 1000 Ks, but I would say the Saucony is more durable.
So with your Saucony Triumph 17, you do have your XT900 carbon rubber in your heel as well as your forefoot, both your landing zone and your toe off. Then in between both of those places you do have their crystallized rubber. So there's not a whole lot of flex screws, you kind of got a guidance line running on the lateral side of the shoe, but they don't need a whole lot of flexibility in it. That's where the midsole does most of the job. Since it's quite a flexible shoe, you don't need a whole lot of flex screws in that outsole there, just because they've got a good cushioning system above the outsole. But with the durability of this, you're looking at 1000 to 1200 K, so it is a bit more durable than the Nimbus. This is basically just made for road running. If you're looking at something that does a bit more of a versatile thing, a bit of all-terrain, you just won't get the grip on these. Pretty sticky crystallized rubber compared to some of the last ones they use that were a bit slippery. It does the job, especially for an outsole that you want something with durability.
Let's move on to the midsoles in both shoes. Both do fall under that neutral cushion category. High mileage shoes, both are quite cushioned underneath, but which one feels more soft? So looking at the Asics Nimbus 22, this guy here uses the flight foam running throughout, coupled with that flight foam propel and also that gel cushioning around the heels. It is overall a lot softer than last season's model. However, when stacking it up against some other brands, it can still feel a little bit more firm. If you have enjoyed Asics in the past, this shoe here will feel quite soft in comparison to other shoes. Looking at kind of your little bit of support system they have in this Asics system that they have been using for quite a while. Still not a supportive shoe, it's what the Kayano's for, but this does offer that little bit of rigidness throughout that midfoot area and also around the heel. So that just stops that kind of flexibility running throughout, allowing to guide you straight, not push you to your lateral or medial side. Just hold the foot quite nicely overall.
With your Triumph 17, they only have one feature in the midsole, and that's your Power Arm Plus. Compared to your Asics Nimbus 22 using, I think it's 3 or 4 different components for trying to get the same job done. Use the Power Arm Plus thermoplastic bead, just all adheses together, so this doesn't get affected with temperature change at all. So it won't firm up in colder climates, and it won't get sloppy in your hot runs. So if you want a bit more durable midsole over the life of the shoe, this will stay the same consistency, and this has upgraded quite a bit from that Everrun. So this is a bit more plusher, a bit better response back, all that. It's very durable, feels a lot better underneath the foot compared to most of your other cushioning systems, especially compared to that Everrun.
With your cushioning systems between both shoes, if you kind of used to kind of heel striking and slapping down, Asics will feel a lot more firm under the foot as opposed to the Saucony. You'd probably sink into it a little bit more and is a little bit more responsive.
With your Nimbus, it's got a 10mm drop, and with your Triumph, it is running with that 8mm. It's only a slight bit of difference. If you want to get a bit more of that midfoot or that forefoot when it comes to the gait cycle, I'd probably lean towards that 8mm drop, if not something a bit lower.
Getting back into the upper of both shoes, we did kind of highlight it at the start of the video, but we'll just run across it again quickly. So they use that double layered jacquard mesh pretty much running across the top of the foot. 2 layers of mesh that's nice and soft and seamless pretty much is what it's doing. Locks down the midfoot quite nicely. Does have that little bit more of the 3D overlays running around the heel and also that midfoot area, so that does lock you in a little bit better, coupled with that external heel counter. Does make for that more durable shoe. In previous seasons of the Nimbus, people have been wearing throughout that toe area, but with that double layered mesh on the upper, it is more durable. So coupled with that,
honestly probably still will. Okay, that's good to know.
So coupled with that double layered mesh at the upper, it will be more durable than last season's model. Will you put your toe through? Just gonna have to find out. No, it's... Who thinks you will? I think it'll be pretty good.
The Triumph's got reinforcement there.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's better than the Triumph.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, I'm just saying it's better than other Asics. Asics compete with itself. It should be Asics versus Asics video.
Yeah. With your Triumph 17, very padded around that heel area, so very similar to the Nimbus. A lot of padding around that heel and on the external side, so I'm not sure why they've done that. It's a bit weird having that cushioning on the outside of the heel counter. Not sure, there must be some engineering gone into that to make down the overall fit better. I think that just adds weight personally. The 3D print around that midfoot locks in the midfoot very well, booty fit as well on that, so it's attached tongue. A bit more room around your toes if you do like something that's got a bit more depth to the forefoot. Same way your Triumphs are great, and they do have the reinforcement on that dorsiflexion, so if you do come in through that big toe, something like the Triumph 17 does have that bit more of protection there. Some of the old ones have been known to wear there. Personally, I'd choose this any day of the week compared to the Nimbus 22. This is a running shoe. It's lightweight, it's got cushioning underneath the foot, which does help when it comes to running. Very durable outsole. It's got the whole package.
Yeah, so for me, I'd probably choose the Saucony as well. It is definitely a lighter, softer, more comfortable shoe overall. That's for running, however. To work in, yeah, I'd probably choose the Saucony as well. It's a bit nicer to stand in all day. However, if you're doing a bit more kind of gym and you just want that overall trainer that does everything,
Saucony Triumph 17.
You can't lift weights in that.
Huh? So?
Yeah, it's a good point. Again, yeah, I'm sorry to the Asics fans. If you like Asics, you're going to stick with this. If you're anyone else,
if you want a decent shoe, grab yourself a pair of Triumph 17.
That's about it. If you like what you've seen here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, turn on the bell, and that's about it. If you have any suggestions of what we should do with content coming up, let us know down in the comments below. If you want us to compare certain shoes with other shoes, or if you have any opinions on this yourself, let us know in the comments. Alright, so we already kind of talked about the upper at the start of the video, but we'll just run through it again quickly.
Can you just do it again? It stinks.
Alright, so, fuck.
Just get into it. Talking about the upper.
I don't know why I do it, it's just a feeling instead of saying
Say
Oh my, it's easier to cut.
It really is.